have been running 8 projects this year, and today we will highlight the project BNUZ-Mutil to you. Now let's start the video.
A nation's and a mysterious country. For centuries, travelers have been resolving the legends about this magic land and this land. Their hands have built this land bit by bit for nations to come. With the development of modern society, we have paid too much attention to economic growth, but have ignored the most original beauty of this land. Guangdong province are placed with abundant oysters. However, while the oyster industry chain is boosting economic growth, Luochi, Sunshine Beach, and Lovely Stone, all of them are stepping into history. The historic oyster shells have caused a devastating blow to the environment. So many of us, the beach used to be beautiful, but now there's no more tourists, there's no more laughter. The beach is dying, but he can do nothing. We will not let this happen. We're solving these problems by untying a series of hard knocks. It is our mission. Untie the knots. The knots will grow.
China is the largest origin area of oysters in the world. However, while people are enjoying delicious oysters, too many oyster shells are discarded, which leads to serious pollution problem. Shuzaitown is a famous origin of oysters in Guangdong province. The annual production of oysters there averages 6,784 tons, which engender 3,330 tons oyster shells. The area of these oyster shells equals to 74.7 standard football fields, and they seriously pollute the surrounding of over 20,000 fishermen distributed in 15 villages.
At the same time, the decay of the discarded oyster shells becomes a breeding ground for bacteria. According to statistics, around 46 towns have been affected by such kind of pollution.
But actually, the oyster shell has high commercial value, which improves soil force and utilization level of fertilizer.
For planting, it can increase crop use and reduce the pests and diseases.
For breeding, it can provide calcium supplement for livestock.
Therefore, we launched the project BNUZ-Mutil. We will use 3 parts to explain how we run the project.
First, the exploration phase.
Second, internal information phase.
Third, project duplication and market expansion phase.
Now let's start with the first phase.
On February 2010, we initiated this project by first going to Maoming City to visit the local fishermen. We found that the fishermen breeded oysters for a living. However, their annual income of only 20,400 yuan provided them with limited living conditions. Moreover, the decay of the oyster shells worsened their living conditions.
So how can we do about it?
Well, facing this problem, we guided the fishermen to collect oyster shells throughout the community. The oyster shell can then be grinded into powder and sold into the market. This will provide additional income channels for the fishermen and solve the community pollution problem caused by accumulated oyster shells.
After the 7 months, the plan was failed. The fishermen's fear of market risk hindered our project.
However, we were still in the exploration phase. We were later informed that there were several local processing factories on the island that were in need of oyster shells.
In November 2010, we visited 7 oyster shell powder processing factories along the coast of the Guangdong province. We found that the factory is capable to expand the market and solve the accumulation problem of oyster shells. Thus, we shift our main audience to the processing factory. We wish to solve the pollution by improving the factory's efficiency and expand demands for raw materials.
Also, we hope to establish a stable relationship between the factory and the local fishermen about materials. This will indirectly increase their income and improve their living conditions.
Meanwhile, our project manager, Liu Jiali, went to Taiwan as an exchange student. While in Taiwan, she had a chance to visit oyster-shell powder processing factories in the Huanggong fishing village. After communicating with factories officials in Taiwan, she found that factories in mainland generally lack strong internal management, product quality control, and brand building.
As a result, we decided to introduce the advanced system of Taiwan to the oyster shell processing factories here on the mainland in order to improve their efficiency and capacities to produce higher quality oyster shell powder and to accelerate the consumption of discarded oyster shells. Now, let's move on to the second phase.
In March 2011, we contacted the Seaside Oyster Shell Processing Factory to reform the factory with the director Yao Xingsi to utilize his factory for a pilot project. We plan to reform his processing factory in order to solve the lack of internal management, unstable product quality, and branding issues.
First, improve the internal management. We firstly aimed at increasing the production efficiency. We guided the factory to regularize its operating procedures and carried out training of how to deal with the oyster shells. These efforts increased the production efficiency by 70%.
In order to stimulate the workers' production enthusiasm, we introduced the FBO performance evaluation system. We assist the factory developing its base goals and reward them according to their performance. To stabilize the supply of raw material, we cooperate with 6 fishermen to supply the raw material at the price of 70 yuan per ton. In this way, we not only ensure the stable supply of raw material, but also provide 6 fishermen the opportunity to obtain additional incomes.
Second, stabilize product quality. In May 2011, the first testing of the oyster shell powder was carried out by Guangdong Province Microbial Testing Center, and the consequence was satisfied. To ensure the long-term quality of the powder, we introduced a China-type monitoring system, which contains the following 3 parts: pre-inspecting from the factory, regular tests by professional testing center, and the feedback from customers.
We help the processing factory developing its base goals, and we help them to establish a professional and reliable brand image. We also established a website which expanded the factory's market in Sichuan province.
By November 2011, we had basically completed the reformation of the factory, and its annual production volume had increased from 3,600 tons to 6,120 tons. Meanwhile, we had also created 6 job positions for the fishermen, and their annual income had increased by 23%, from 20,400 yuan to 25,200 yuan. What's more, the consumption rate of discarded oyster shells was accelerated.
Through the effort of the factory and our team, the processing factory applied a smooth operation, stabilized the product quality, and obtained corporate praise. We realized a new model, that is, helping the processing factory improving its industrial chain and avoid the shell, and finally, solve the accumulation of pollution. Our team successfully stepped back. Now let's move on to the 3rd phase.
Thanks, Lee. Third, project application and market expansion phase. In December 2011, the Yuanma processing factory in Nanning City learned that our project had been successful with the Seaside processing factory. The director, Lin Shenghua, contacted with us and hoped that we could help him improve the operating status of his processing factory. Through our efforts, in February 2012, the reformation of Yuanma processing factory was completed, and the annual reached 4,000 tons from 2,857 tons, which increased by 40%. The factory reformation model was successfully duplicated.
After the feasibility and replicability of the factory had been verified, we found that the main problem of Mr. Lin's factory was the lacking of competition. Therefore, we then turned our attention to the market, the core driving force of the oyster shell powder chain. We plan to expand the market of oyster shell powder chain in order to address its pollution problem. The market, as a driving force, can be efficiently used to promote the oyster shell powder chain.
Among the processing factories we contacted with, 90% of the powder have been sold to the breeding market. The remaining have been sold to the farming market and so on. At last, we finished the development policy of consolidating the old breeding market and opening up the new farming markets.
As for breeding, the breeding market of the oyster shell was the traditional market of the oyster shell powder. As Yuanmao oyster shell processing factory depended too much on old clients, not seeking out new ones, it had poor sales.
After carrying out reformation of Yuanmao processing factory, we not only kept the old clients for them, but helped the factory in attracting new customers. In order to convince new customers to try, we put forward related customers to have a trial at a low price.
After the user experience, in order to help save money, we put forward marketing strategy of quantity discount. That means the more powder the customer buys, the lower price will get. After carrying out this plan, the customers of the factory increased from 9 to 21, and the sales increased 840 times.
As for planting, compound fertilizer is widely used now. However, it will cause severe problem of soil compaction and acidification. But the oyster shell powder can solve this problem as a pollution-free fertilizer. Using oyster shell powder is more environmentally friendly nowadays.
Nevertheless, as a new product in the planting market, oyster shell powder has low recognition. In order to promote the product, we contacted Mr. Li Wei, the director of the Oyster Institute of Soil and Fertilizer of China, to have the powder assessed. The results show that the product works really well.
Furthermore, we held a lecture of effective cultivation with oyster shell powder locally, introducing the oyster shell powder to the villagers. Meanwhile, experimental planting has been done in Zhuhai City so that customers could experience directly the obvious effects of the oyster shell powder.
According to statistics, planting with oyster shell powders results in a 76.2% decrease of vegetable rotting rate and increase yield by 12%. Obviously, it turns that oyster shell powders can improve dust quality. Meanwhile, the alkaline of oyster shell powders can also neutralize the acid soil, solving the soil hardening problems as well.
It was best to use the oyster shell powder with plant ash or other fertilizer together. So we came to a decision to roughly process the powder by processing factory and then fine process them by the professional manufacturers, enable the oyster shell powder maximize their fertilizer effects.
As the powder is relatively inexpensive and environmentally friendly, we decided to cooperate with Feng Chengxiang Fertilizer Factory. The factory had the powder produced, processed, and then sold into the market.
Up to June 2012, the Feng Chengxiang Factory has signed a contract with Yuanmao Processing Factory and agreements on cooperation of production and sales by all fertilizer. They reached an agreement of 3,000 tons raw materials that accounted for 38% of the total order of processing factories, which will clean up 3,750 tons oyster shells.
After a 2-year exploration, we successfully summed up the internal management improvement and external market exploration modification scheme of the oyster shell powder industry.
As to better factory operation management, we increased the efficiency greatly by modifying production process, introducing performance evaluation system, and keeping stable raw material supply.
Qualified production and brand building ensure the stable and sustainable development in product supply with clients. As to expand markets, we take 2 different but effective measures on breeding and planting markets.
On the one hand, we put forward trial agreements and quantity discount marketing strategies to keep old clients and attract new customers.
On the other hand, for the planting market, we created a new business model that is processing factory provide oyster shell powder as raw material, and then fertilizer factory produce and sell oyster shell powder fertilizer.
With the hard work of BNUZ and oyster shell processing factories, a multi-shell project was successfully able to introduce the business enterprise model led by fertilizer companies, making the industry chain operate with higher efficiency.
We attracted businesses to exploit commercial value oyster shells, change waste into values, and consume human-linked shell to solve the pollution problem sustainably.
This advanced commons leading Commonwealth project took the place of the outdated human-led Commonwealth project, gave a better solution to environmental pollution problem.
We received a feedback review from one of our target audiences. Now let's have a look.
感谢赛统这些大型赛给我带来这么好的利润。
这个一手里面的这个是用了之后的吗？
对呀。
那你就展示一下吧。
好，这就是用了那个豪德可中的豆浆，看看多棒。
Based on the current project model, We have achieved the following outcomes.
Facing the situation that government cannot address pollution problem by administrative means, we put forward a creative model of market-oriented governance.
5,000 oyster shells have been cleaned up efficiently to improve our environment and create commercial value of 350,000 yuan.
Non-income position has been created, and each fisherman's annual income increased 26%, reaching 25,700 yuan. Totally is 100,000 yuan.
Product use raised by 40%, reaching the 4,000 tons of annual yields.
By 2013, the sales of the powder had been projected at 7,840 tons, with 9,800 tons being cleared up. This means that the consumption rate of the oyster shells is higher than the growth rate.
The strategy of consolidating home markets and opening new markets has brought 96% increase of sales volume of 7,840 tons, and its income increased to 250,000 yuan.
Oyster shell powder got better recognition and reputation of the society.
Our project has created the overall economic impact, reaching 3 billion yuan.
Now we have completed the pilot project successfully. In the future, we are going to cooperate with the government and NGO to duplicate this model to the other 46 polluted areas.
Now we will explain to you how Quantai Shell project meets the site 5 criteria.
We consider relevant economic, social, and environmental factors.
Through developing the commercial value of oyster shells and improving its industry chain, we increase more market demands for oyster shells, and the pollution problem was solved efficiently. As for fishermen, a vulnerable group in society got involved with this industry chain, which helped them extra incomes and increase their social status. Thus, we achieve economic, social, environmental, three-party women's initiation.
We have successfully empowered the target audiences.
We guided fishermen collect oyster shells and taught them some business negotiation skills, enabling them to be the stable supplier of the raw material chain. Meanwhile, we also helped the factory by introducing operating experience in Taiwan to Mr. Lin and helping making strategies of expanding markets to let the factory run independently and continuously.
We met the need of our target audiences.
The fishermen wish to increase the income will solve the cumulative shells of oyster shells. Therefore, the increase in demand of oyster shell powders can solve their valve problems. Meanwhile, the improvements of industry of oyster shell powders can also meet the desire of processing factories to enhance their capabilities and help them to solve the problem of the poor management and narrow market.
We have applied business and economic concepts with an entrepreneurial approach.
SIPE imparts professional management methods and grant building, as well as implements product diversification to the processing factory. Mr. Lin pays more attention to the product quality, and the business ethic has promoted. Also, SIPE introduced an innovative market model of pollution control, which addressed the pollution problem. All of that effectively integrated resources and achieved a multi-win-win situation.
We improve the quality of life and the standard of living for people in need. Through collecting feedback and comparing relevant data of our projects, we introduced GWBS to evaluate our project's effects to our audience. The stable selling model of oyster shell powder have increased the fisherman's income by 26%, while the processing factory's income increased by 96%. We also have cleaned up abundant oyster shells. Here too, the fishermen's life quality and social status were improved. The developed operating condition in the processing factory let the director have more confidence into the future. What's more, the work sense of happiness were enhanced.
From 2009 to 2012, site BNUZ has been fully devoted to help solve China's economic, social, and environmental problems. With our innovative and entrepreneurial way of thinking, we have cleared the mess and tied many knots.
In order to solve the water pollution problem, we launched the 535 project. We combine water purification way with plants and integrate it with pollution modes to solve the problem of river pollution and bettering the dilemma of NGOs.
The breeding pollution had worsened the living conditions for villagers. The biogasation project transformed excreta into biogas resources, which solved the pollution problem and increased incomes for villagers in Nanzhou, Zhuhai.
In order to protect forest resources, the IPAPER project introduced paper recycled with the shredded concept to build a standard use system with the paper products on our campus, which which improve situation of paper waste.
We are carrying more unemployed women. In the Manhattan Project, we supported a handicrafted workshop by improving its operating condition, increasing work women's income, and promoting their social status.
We pay attention to the old local fishermen. The Old Man in the Sea project cooperates with the government and media enterprises to help the old local fishermen set up a multi-fold economy model which helps to increase their income and promotes the island's culture.
To solve the high range rate in second-tier cities, the Discover Project cooperates with the government, university, social media to build the future brand of Zhuhai City. By organizing tourists, united firms, expanding our project's market in society, enhancing people's sense of belonging, and promoting economic development of Zhuhai City.
In order to reduce the secondary criminal rate, the Sunshine Children Project joins with other college educational resources to give the custody young teenagers some psychological guidance and reduce corrective cognitive biases and help them establish positive balance of their lives.
We integrated various social resources and gained support from all walks of life.
With the city in establishing partnership with 7 sponsors,
34 partners in 5 government departments,
3 business allies and 10 government advisors.
103 team members worked for over 11,000 hours.
8 projects this year.
more than 27,000 target audiences were empowered.
over 350 people were indirectly affected.
Over 3 million grant of economic benefits were created.
Media coverage was over 40 billion.
As more and more knows the big times, we create value for our community.
8 projects netting the series and the winning of most Chinese lots.
It shows a much more harmonious China, a country full of